Welcome back to the channel. So glad to see you here for part 2 on the beginner's guide of FPV build of the Sergio SL5. So let's get started. Hi, I'm Sergio with Flyzone Drone. In today's video, we'll be putting together the rest of those builds by soldering the F4 flight controller and the 45 amp ESC provided by T-Motor. And after that, we'll be installing the 800 milliwatts VTX by SpeedyV and the TBS Crossfire receiver and the Foxeer Razor Mini camera. Once we're done, we'll finish it off in beta flight so that you can be ready for your first flight. See you all on the workbench. We just received a T-Motor F4 and F45 amps V2.0. It's a flight controller. It's a stack, 4-in-1, and let's see how this looks. Very nice. We got T-Motor stickers. We got a sticker here. We got a QC pass T-Motors for quality control. This is another sticker. We have another little tiny sticker, and we got one more here. And there we go, guys. We have the ESC controller. Look at this. LED light here. This is where your battery goes. These little two holes go your capacitor. This is your flight controller. Your ESC connector that will go to your flight controller. I like the fact how everything is flat. See how nice and flat it is. Oh, there we go. We have a ESC board. This. We have. See what else we got here. Oh, this looks like a pad. You can put your flight controller on top if you want to work on doing the soldering. We have the flight controller here. We have the flight controller cover plate. And we also here is the flight controller. There you go, guys. You can see this is really nice. I'm impressed. What I can see here, you can see here. There's your VTX connector here, and there's your camera connector here, which you can see. I don't know if you guys can zoom in. Camera connector and VTX connector. This is your barometer, but nothing's there. If you want to install a chip here for your barometer, you can do that as well. Can do so. You just put it on there and just heat it up and just put it on there. Your MOSFET that goes with that. This is your I believe this is what, I don't know what that is, but I will find out about what that is. I know this is for your beta flight. Boot button. It's your flight control connector. We have here. These are for your Crossfire. This is where I'm going to be showing you guys where your Crossfire connectors will go. Your Crossfire Nano, your receiver. That's where it's going to go. It's going to go in R5 and T5, and then you got your ground here. and then 5 volts. So it's gonna go like this way. So we have, these are for your I believe this is for your GPS. That's your GPS connector. You want to connect your GPS. This side here is for your LED. That's your LED. Pretty cool. Pretty neat, guys. I'm so excited to show you guys this, the belt. And let's see what else it came in. It's got screws for your flight controller. A regulator, a capacitor for your to connect with your ESC with your batteries connectors. This actually has a 35 volt 470 I believe. The next one we have a bunch of goodies here. It came with some grommets, rubber grommets for your flight controller, your aluminum top nut. This is all we got here. And then we have they came with 2 of the wire connectors. This is like a plug and play. We have the ESC in this end, this end right here, and we have the FC, which is the flight controller, on this other side of the connector. Because it tells you which one goes where. So this connects to your flight controller, and this connects to your ESC board. So look, we're gonna do this one as well. Also, one more thing I forgot, guys. It also came with the this thing, this battery connector for your it's an XT60 connector. It's made for 6S and 3S, 4S to 6S to 8S batteries. These are good, which is kind of like it. It's a little bit long though, but I'm gonna have to cut it shorter a little bit. We'll see. We'll measure. We'll do the eyeball part. Welcome back. So anyways, let's get started here. Let's put this in the side. You know, I actually got this from it's called myfpvstore.com. I'll put the link below if you guys want to purchase one. And they send me the keychain. That's pretty cool. Let's start with the ESC. Let's turn my my soldering iron. Make sure you always clean your tip. You gotta buy one of these. You clean your tip. So you don't make a mess. Like you don't burn your board. So anyways, what we need, let's grab this little alligator, the alligator hand, the clip. Okay. Now before we do the soldering on these pads, you always want to tin them. You want to tin them with the wires. Make sure you guys buy yourself one of these. Make sure it's a 60% tin, 40% lead. It's a smaller one. Make sure it's Rosin core soldering. I have a 2% flux, and it already has a flux in here. It's a 2%, which is thin wires for little pads, and then we got the bigger wires for the batteries. You see the difference, the thickness? If you guys can see this thickness. You see that? So keep that in mind, guys. I got this on Amazon. All right, let's get started. All right, now you always want to get yourself some flux. You buy some flux. I got this kind of flux, but I'm looking for buying the pen one. It's much easier, less mess. But this is good too. So you get yourself some flux, and sometimes you don't have to put it because you have. This already has 2% of flux, so. But I like to keep my stuff clean. It's nice and shiny. So let's get this going. All right. And let's add some flux. First thing you gotta do is always heat the pad. Heat it on the pad. Well, first let me put some flux on my tip. That's it. You see how nice and clean and shiny that is? Now we're going to do the other side. Flux. You see that? We're all done with that. You can see my solid tips. Look how shiny they are. That's how you know you did a good soldering. It has to be shiny. There you go. Now we're gonna do this part. Now I'm going to use this other one, which is this that we talked about earlier.
I would like to cut it a little bit more short. That was a loud noise, bro. Sounds like a BB gun. I like to keep it that way, guys. Short. Try to retain these, make them nice and clean. Okay, let's tin this up, buddy. I mean, let's solder this. Clean my tip. There we go, guys. If you can see that, guys, that's how I want my stuff. I'm very picky when it comes to stuff. So there it is, guys. I'm gonna clean this with alcohol. I always take alcohol and clean them. That looks good. And there you go, guys. You got your flight controller, your capacitor installed. No, this thing is ready to put on the quad and sound the motors. There we go. I want to make sure no metal touches metal. Okay, this is good. This is ready to go. So I put this like that. That's it. Sometimes if you don't like the way this looks, you can lift this capacitor up a little bit. And just tuck this down like that to keep it, you know, how you want it. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna install the wires, the motor wires. What we're gonna do is start with this one. Now, just to let you guys know, it doesn't matter which wire goes where. It doesn't matter. You could put this here. It's not like in order. Like this one's gotta go here, and then this one's gotta go here. It doesn't matter. You can put this here, or you put that there. It doesn't matter which way you go. But these wires got to be in this section. Whatever you got, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You got this side, 1, 2, 3. This one goes on this side. But in the way the wires that you install these wires on this side, doesn't matter which way. So right now we're gonna eyeball it. All right, keep mine about a little bit more inch away, like so that way. Just like that. So I like to do it where you see the end of this line where the board is, a little bit more where the end of the screw. I like to keep it like right there because you need to reach out. You know what I'm saying? So each board. So I like it this way. There you go, guys. Done. We put the ESC. Now the next step is we're gonna put the flight controller and the Crossfire receiver. Now we have the next step that we're going to solder, install the Crossfire Nano receiver and the flight controller. And I will show you that where they go and how it's done. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'll show you like you can. I would like to zoom it in. Can you guys see that? I hope you guys could see that. Okay. Let me go in more closer. There we go. Okay. Now, what we got here on the board to install the Crossfire receiver, okay, we have here, this is the ground. This is the 5 volts. The yellow one is channel 1, and this one, the white one, is channel 2. Okay, so you have here, there's ground, 5 volts, and then channel 1 yellow wire will go on R5, and then the white wire, which is channel 2, will go on the T5. So basically, it's like the white one, channel 1 goes to RX, and the white one goes to TX. But there's a number here, R5 and T5. So when you go on the Bearfly, your UART, you gotta put it on 5. Okay? So let's get this bad boy installed and soldered. Let's tin the pads.
We got the ground. We're gonna put the 5 volts. We got the 5 volts. We're gonna put the channel 1 on R5. And then we're gonna put channel 2 on T5, which is TX. The Crossfire receiver is installed. Now it's ready to put back on the quad. Now we have this little guy here, and this is what's made for to put your receiver in. You can slide your receiver through there. There we go. We got the receiver right in there. We're gonna put the antenna back in. There we go, receiver's in here. There we go. So, let's put the Crossfire. Put the Crossfire, it's right here. You know, I might have to find a way, a better spot. So let's here, let's cut this thing off. Let's cut this wire tie here. So I want to make a nice clean belt here. So let's pass through this underneath the battery, through the battery wire. And now we got that in. Now we got that, which is good. Now we have the battery. Okay, so right now the Crossfire antenna, you can either what should have done is that I didn't know there was a hole there, but let's take this antenna back out really fast. Okay, there's a hole right there. There's a hole right there. You slide that right in there. Just go like this. for that, I'm just gonna stick these two in here. One in there. The reason, well, you can put the wires, you can put it inside the hole and do it, but I didn't want to do that. So it's whatever best for you guys. If you guys want to stick in that hole and then do the soldering, it's up to you. But it's a pain about to stick that thing in the hole. So I did it the easy way. So now this goes this way. Let me see. Let's put this antenna back more. And then we gotta put the VTX transmitter. That's gonna go right in there. Yeah. Okay, so let's get this thing back inside. This one is gonna go about let's see here. So if I feed that through here, okay, so it's gonna, there you go, like that, and there you go. We got that. We got the battery wire installed, soldered. We got the Crossfire. We got the flight controller. The ESC motor is wired up. Now what we need to do is, the only thing we gotta do is wait for the VTX transmitter and the camera, and configure and beta flight, and then start it up and see how it flies. So one more thing I forgot to mention. This wire here has to go back here where the ESC is. It says ESC, it's written right there. And plug that in. Make sure don't press it too hard. Okay. Now this other side goes to your flight controller. Excuse me. So it's gonna go this way. There you go. Now we got that. We got the Crossfire. We got the flight controller, ESC, everything's good to go. All we gotta do is just wait the other two hardware, which is the VTX and the camera. So that's it. We got this little one. It's a heat shield. And there's the transmitter. That's where your antenna goes. This is to change your channel, your milliwatt. This is your camera connector. So we're gonna install this right in the back here, just like so. Okay, connect that, and then we're gonna wire the camera. The VTX wire. We're gonna solder where the wire is gonna go on the pad on the flight controller. So, and also came in some wires here. You can see the wires. Okay, we're gonna put that here. It also came with some antennas, which we don't need. I already have it. It's right here. I already put it in. This is just another one. For extra. We got one here. That's another antenna that comes for if you want to put some for the little quads. So let's get this one and get mounted. And then we're also gonna show you I got the Foxy camera, which we're gonna put in, which I already did put it in. Actually, it's right here. That's a great camera. The lens are pretty big. I mean, they're saying that this camera is really good camera. I can't wait to see how the quality is on this. So anyways, guys, let's get to it. Let's mount this little guy. So let me be right back, and I'll show you when it's mounted. All right, guys, here we go. We have the VTX, the SpeedyBee VTX 800 milliwatt is mounted. Now all I gotta do is show you guys how to wire these wires to your flight controller. So the first thing we need to do is lift this flight controller out, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna drag this wire underneath, because we wanna go underneath. And as you can see, there's little holes in there. So we're gonna solve that way. I'm gonna turn it around. And what you can see, positive, negative, and VI video. Install this bad boy. These already turned, so let's take our sign, clean our tip. I want to add some flux. Put by my hands. You want to use 60% tin, 40% lead, 0.6 millimeter washing coil. And what we'll do is we're gonna heat this up. I'm gonna clean this. I want to turn my temperature down to about maybe 350 or 400. I say about 400. So we're gonna put this on. I'm gonna take the negative wire. First let's tin them real quick. This is a menu button. This is to change your camera on the on-screen display. You can change the settings on these with this. You just plug this in the back of you, and you just change your setting, which is pretty neat. It's a good feature to have.
Okay, here's the wires that we're gonna install next. So this one's gonna go on the back. It'll be very easy and gentle, guys. This is, so we have ground, vid. These wires, I'm gonna make them short because they're gonna go here. I'm gonna give a little bit of slack, so that way when the camera moves, you can move. So I'm gonna have to cut that back here or so. And always say this, you never know. There you go. Let's tin these real quick. I want to cover my flight controller so that way nothing gets in there. We're going to do the same process how we always do it. Clean your tip, put some solder on here. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Take this guy out. No G's you. Less headaches. What we need to do. This thing is done. Sometimes I like to make everything nice and neat as possible. Make sure these are good. Sometimes you have room, as long as you can tuck these in. You can tuck them in, and that's it. Yeah, we're all done. Now what we're gonna do is test it out with the smoke stopper. So we're gonna test this guy with the smoke stopper to make sure nothing is short, nothing's shorting out. We wanna make sure all the sounds we did correctly. We want to make sure nothing is short out. Because if you fire this up with a smoke stopper, what's going to happen, you're going to burn, if it's short, you're going to burn your flight controller. Bear with me, guys. Let me put these plastic bolts. Okay guys, I'm back. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna test this with a smoke stopper. We'll make sure everything is okay, everything is good. Make sure when you turn on your quad with the smoke stopper, always connect your antenna. Don't do it without the antenna. So plug this in first. I like how the camera faces. Wow, look at that, guys. Let's say go. Look at my belt. This is a beautiful belt. Test with the smoke stopper first. I want to make sure everything is good. This is the smoke stopper, guys. If you guys want to purchase one of these, you can go on Amazon. They have them. Let's get my battery. Connect this in here. Now, in order to check if it's short, this light would turn red. If the light does not turn red, right now it's on standby mode. If it when you press the button and if it turns a red light, LED, means there's a short. If it's green, we did good. You ready? Wish me luck. It looks good. This thing is ready to go in beta flight.
Alright guys, welcome back. Right now we're on beta flight. All we gotta do is plug in your quad to the beta flight. Okay, we're connected. Now what we do is let's go to the setup. Make sure you calibrate your quad. Go. Now the next step is going to your ports, and make sure your port where you install your wire from your VTX on UART2. Always remember where you soldered that wire. It's on, like say, for example, if it says T2 or T3 or T5, these are your UART that you have to select for your VTX. And mine is at T2, so I put on UART2, which you go down here where UART2, put it on smart audio, and then make sure your Crossfire is on UART5, whatever you installed it at, whatever you soldered at. Make sure you have your serial RX enabled for Crossfire, and then remember your VTX again, where you install is T2, so it's UART2. I put on VTX Smart Audio, and then you save reboot. And then now we go to your configuration tab. And now to keep in mind on your configuration tab, make sure everything is on here. We got RX lock, RX set, okay. Make sure you personalize your craft name, which I did over here already. It's iFlight Fedora. And make sure You have all of them. You have to touch nothing else. And I think that's pretty much it for now. If you have GPS installed, make sure you check that to set up your GPS. So right now I don't have my GPS set up. Eventually I will. We're gonna just skip that. Now all we do is now, after you're done creating your personalization craft name, all you have to do is go down here and save and reboot. And now we're done with that. Now all we have to do now is go to the see the pin tuning. The pin tuning. No, don't touch the pitch. Go to your receiver tab. Make sure your receiver tab is at your receiver serial UART. Okay. For your if you have your Crossfire, you put Crossfire. If you have your FR Sky, you put FR Sky. Right now I have the Crossfire receiver, so make sure you have that put in. And receiver mode, make sure it's at serial. Okay. And now make sure your channel map is at AETR 1234, which that's okay. And then save and reboot. Let's go back to the receiver tab. Now make sure you turn your radio on, and make sure all your receiver modes on your sticks, move them around, make sure they're working correctly. Okay, which mine is already working because I already tested this before I went on beta flight. So just to show you guys, but everything was set up before, so I just did this for you guys so you guys know how to put all these in here. So now let's go to modes. Now in my modes, I already set up my modes. If you guys didn't, make sure you guys do that first on your radio. Then you can go on your beta flight and then switch, your switches. Make sure they're all working correctly. Your arm, your angle, your horizon, your beeper, whatever you have your switches, whatever you have programmed on your radio. Make sure it's, everything is working on your mode tab. Now we're gonna save that, reboot. Save. Now we'll go to the motors tab. We want to make sure the motors are working correctly. Okay, they're going the right direction. Before we do anything, make sure you remove your props. Okay, always remove your props while you're doing this. Okay, and make sure you have on Quad X on your mixer, which is right here. It's a Quad X type. Now your ESE motor features is got to be on D-Shot 600, whatever it is on. Make sure you have it on D-Shot 600 or D-Shot 300, whatever your ESE motor feature is. Okay, your protocol. Now I have mine is on D-Shot 600. Now all I gotta do now is check my motors if they're spinning in the right direction. And if they are, we're good to go. If not, then you have to reverse your motors, or you gotta remap them. You gotta, remap them. Right now, remove your props. That's the first thing you gotta do. Remove your props, and where it says here, I understand the risk of property are removed, unable motor control, arming and disarming, runaway takeoff prevention. Now always turn that on, but keep in mind, take your props off while you're doing this. And then you have to connect your battery after to check your motors if they're going the right direction. Because if you have your props on, it's very dangerous. It can cut your fingers. You don't never know what's going to happen to it. Okay, so always take your props off, guys. That's the number one thing. Now we connect the battery. Okay. And then understand the risk. The props with propellers are removed. Okay, you got the propellers removed. Now you connect the battery. Now you test your motors. Okay, that's how it is. And once you test your motors, you go by motor 1, which is right here. Lift it up slowly and see if they're going the right direction. If they are, then go to the next one. There's 2, and then 3 and 4. If they're going the right directions, you're good to go. And then when you're done, uncheck the understand, uncheck that, and then disconnect your battery. Always do that. And then after you're done, if they're going the right direction, you save and reboot, which is right here, which I already did it, so I'm just showing you how. Right here, it should be yellow after you're done, and save reboot. Okay, next step, on-screen display. Your on-screen display, you can set up whatever you want on your on-screen display. These elements up here, you just select which one you want to be shown on your on-screen display on your goggles, so you can read what's on your goggles and what's going on, like the batteries, the voltage, if your arm's disarmed or armed, what fly mode is it on, how many flight minutes, the distance. You can set up whatever you like. Then after you do that, make sure you save. You save, okay? And then after you're done saving, then you go to the video transmitter. And your video transmitter, you have to set up what band your what band mode are you on. You want to pick. If you have a fat shock, you have to put fat shock. If you have a race band, you can put a race band. But make sure what channel you would like to put on. I always start 25. Then you connect your quad, and then you fix your VTX table. You have to create your VTX table. I always put the VTX table here. Sometimes it doesn't come in with it when you turn your quad. If you're building a quad, you have to put them in there itself. Okay, make sure you always do that, guys. Very important. And always start at 25 power. Make sense? Okay, now next one. Now if you're done doing all this, you save, and that will probably be it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Don't have to worry about the LED strips. If you have it, you go in there. Black box, don't worry about that. CLI is a CLI command. If you want to type in what version you're on, that tells you what current version you're on. If you need to update the version, it'll tell you if it's the latest version, or so on. So anyways, guys, that is it right now. I hope you guys like this video. If you have any questions, please subscribe, comment down below, and hit that like. Will be better for our channel. That's it, guys. So thank you so much, and see you on the next one.